Hi, my name is Miles Lewis. I'm the director of the Valley Art Studio School in the San Fernando Valley, professional painter and teacher. And I'm going to show you how to stretch canvas today on stretcher bars. So the first thing about stretcher bars is that they come in all different depths. Here I have, I think, about a 1-inch width. The next thing you need is some quality of canvas. I actually have a primed canvas here. I'll also be showing you how to prime. And oftentimes when you buy a primed canvas, you'll want to prime it on your own for your own purposes. So what I have here is a staple gun and a canvas stretcher, which you can buy at a local art supply. And I'm just going to start by cutting. You cut to a larger size. You'll want it to turn over about 1/2 inch so that you're able to staple it, so all the way around. And then you have a good standard for cutting the rest of your width and length. Once you have it in the middle, make sure that each side rolls over at least 1/2 inch. And you can begin with a single staple. Turn to the other side. At this point, you can either stretch manually, say stretching with your left hand if you're right-handed, and then stapling in the center, or using your stretcher. You have some leverage over the edge of your box, and so you want to staple exactly opposite your original staple. From there, you're working out from centers all the way around. So I'm going to move one right of center. You can see it there. And then I'll actually staple diagonally across from the original staple. And while doing this, make sure that all tension between staples is pressed out. You do not want to excessively tighten the canvas on the canvas frame, because when you apply acrylic ground or oil ground, it will tighten the canvas all over and it could tear. Keep staples fairly evenly so that you do not have sort of lapses in tension between staples, which can mean dimples in the canvas surface. See, as it is now, you can hear that drum tension, and the surface is rather clean. The edges have no dimples, no swells, and I can start folding in the corners. Typically, you'll want to run over the same side, like that. You can trim off these edges if they prove to be any trouble in hanging the canvas on a wall. So I'm actually going to prime it with my own materials. Liquitex Matte Medium, which is my favorite acrylic dispersion primer. A golden gesso, which is a nice even gesso, kind of a pleasure to paint on. Here's a specialty primer, which has a sand tooth, so they say. That is a fine tooth and is colored a kind of darker cream. And then I also have an oil ground from Williamsburg Handmade Oil Colors. Works quite nicely, very creamy, a great thing to paint on, but only for oil paints. Whether you're painting on canvas or wood or really any material, you can begin with a protective ground. So I'll begin with a single acrylic brush, Now typically you can allow that about an hour or two to dry, and then you can lay in your gesso, which is a thick white paint, as you can see here. Typically you want to mix it a little bit. You can do that manually. So after priming it with my matte medium, I'm going to take my shaken gesso, shaken and stirred, and apply it evenly. single coat all the way across. And after applying your layer of gesso, take your canvas vertically and you lay it against a corner. So this has been the stretching of a canvas on stretcher bars and the priming. And within 24 hours, you're completely ready to paint with a very reliable custom-made surface.